Well, good morning, everybody. It is Darren Eldridge. I am the Dart Geek, and welcome to the Dart Geek Zone. Thank you so much. If anyone's tuning in live, good morning. Hope you got your coffee, and hope you're ready for some Dart Talk. Right now, you're looking at our fabulous shirt from DJD, and also a couple of thank yous there to the best salon ever. You're going to see the poofy hair the Dart Geek has right now, a little faded. Also, a thank you there to all of our sponsors there that helped us out with the DGZ. I'm mixing them up there. DGZ doubles throwdown that we had at the Moose right there. And then our newest sponsors, Platinum Auto and Advanced Turf Pros. Those two companies have jumped in and jumped on the bandwagon, and we could not be happier. Thank you all so much. We're going to give a little boom here. Get out of studio mode and what's going on? How is everybody doing? Been catching up on the Austrian Open there. Huge kudos to Matt Campbell. You did an amazing job. Tough match there at the end, but man, you put on a highlight reel after surviving that first round. They all say it's all about getting out of that first round. So he did it, and then he put on quite a show, but falling to Dirk Van Dijvenbode is just on another planet right now when he gets straightened out. So good morning. Can you see? Ooh, there's that Dart Geek mug. Hopefully available soon. There's the dew. You see a little red, and then that's turning a little purple there. That was the green and is a little purple. But, you know, Peter Wright was rocking the purple today, so, hey, welcome. So, again, if you're watching live, thank you so much. And if you're watching the rerun, thank you so much. We appreciate you and everything going on. We're going to jump right into the action here. Boom. We're going to hit you folks with a recap of the doubles throwdown. There's all our fabulous sponsors that we had who helped us out, and you're going to see a quick rundown of all the folks who won the event over the weekend. It was amazing. Highlight of the weekend was Mel Skillings. It was so nice to see Mel and Bucky, and Mel came down with a bright yellow coat, and that did our hearts so good. So Mel, thank you so much for coming down. You even got Royal family member Stephen McGuire out. Now, he didn't play, so let's not get crazy. And there's the crew right there. Love those folks right there. So Stephen didn't play, but he did show up. And there's those trophies. Mac Darts, thank you so much. And those are the two extra 50-50 raffles right there you're looking at. So the first thing we want to do is we want to thank our crew. We have the dynamic duo of Tim Meat Reynolds along with Anna Moretti from the Minuteman Dart League, tournament director extraordinaire. You guys were amazing. They kept everything going strong up there. Meat on the brackets, Anna running everything else. And we had half of our Queens of the Moose, Christine Baker, again, on the cashier station and registration. And this year, wrong time of year, April, the other half of our queens, Melissa Hall, is the heart and soul of Pizzacas Plumbing. And if you're a plumber or anything to do with opening up houses here on Cape Cod, it's nuts. And she did let me know right away that, you know, chances weren't great, but so we did miss her. You see the chair right there, but we made a call to the bullpen. And we got Miss Sue Belisle, fiancée of the IT for the Dart Geek, the Beef. And the Pink Widow, Sue, came in and did an amazing job. And Christine did a wonderful job teaching her the ropes. And, of course, we had Anna there. And the Dart Geek, you know what I do. I mess things up. We just get a mistake right out of the way early. Christine was right there to let us know. And from October to now, just remembered everything about Dart Connect and got the ball rolling. So I want to give out a huge thank you to all. We also had Miss Holly Sheridan on the bar. She knocked it out of the park, as she always does. She fed us on Friday night and then took care of us all day on Saturday. So that left us, with nobody to do the 50-50 raffle. So I want to thank Katie Sullivan, who came right in, and 185 was what the 50-50 winner won. So what's that, 370? That was amazing. There's the crew. There's Anna and Meat up there in the back. So she ran that 50-50, and it was amazing. She did a great job. She took care to track all of the tickets from the people who couldn't be there. And 2 out of the 3 winners weren't even in the building. But Katie took care of it, went through all the tickets, found the winners. So that was awesome. And I want to thank her husband, Mark. He was a huge help with our sponsor, Perselli's, and getting us all settled with them. They provided us with some pizza. It was delicious. So thank you to all of you. And Miss Christine Baker, since we had her on the registration, that meant we had Maddie B in the house too. And Maddie B did some stuff for us, just came up and said, what can I do? And I just handed him bags of stuff and said, can you do something with this? Can you do something with this? And then he went right out there. So Maddie B, on the CCDL Board of Governors. So we appreciate you jumping in and give us some help. And then we get to our sponsors because they really help us put this whole thing on. Melissa Cotta, the hair was looking amazing. It was on point, and the talk of the weekend. And we even had her in the building. So we want to thank you. The food from DC Porcelli's was amazing. That pizza was great. And we even had a little run later on that Katie went out and took care of. So thank you. Also want to give a huge shout out to 2 organizations, the Cape Cod Dart League and the Minuteman Dart League. Both chipped in with equipment, and that's the only way that this goes on at the Moose. And thank you both, those organizations, huge supporters of the Dart Geek and all the crazy crap. So thank you. Mac Darts, you saw the picture. I don't know if you know the story, but there was a little background. And Meat Lovin' and Royal Family member Rachel Emery came up with a great idea. So we went and got those dart pucks. And my daughter Mara, thank you so much. Mara DiPilato, thank you. She did some cricket work, and we were able to do them all up. And they worked out great. Mac Darts was phenomenal with all of that stuff, plus the extra prizes for the 50-50. They were amazing donating those for the winners. There's the pucks, and there's the cups, and those mugs might be available soon. I know I got it blocked there, but those are the 2 extra prizes. Thank you, Mac Darts. You are amazing. And of course to the Yarmouth Moose Lodge for letting us basically take over. We just cleared the place out. Sharpie, Moose Lodge board member, came in, helped me get the pool table out of the way, and put it back afterwards. Thank you. So it was a complete group effort, and it is great, and I appreciate it. So we thank you from the Dart Geek squad. So we're going to roll real quick through the champions. On Friday night, we had D-Watt and the legend Dennis Cotto. They took the Friday night luck of the draw, and they did not get the pucks, but they did get a couple of cool hats. So, boys, I expect to see those lids, flying high and proud. The mixed was Tammy Kelly and David Walsh, and you're going to see him in a bunch of pictures because he just comes down here and wins. In the ladies 501, we had Sharon Morandi and Kirsten Dahl. Thank you for making the trip, ladies. That was an amazing final. And in the men's 501, well, we just put Dave Walsh in there because, again, as you see, those aren't like, hey, Darren, you put the wrong picture up. No, he's in all of them. But this time he was with Colin Finnegan, and they took the men's 501. And in the ladies cricket, we had an all Cape Cod champion with Melanie Boyan and Jillian Richmond. Congratulations, ladies. An awesome final, and went 3 legs and had a nice little crowd right around there watching, and it was pretty cool. So, but congratulations to you. Well earned, well deserved. And nice to see some Cape Cod folks winning stuff when we run these tournaments. And there they are right there. So standing O. Well done, ladies. In the men's cricket, I know, shocking, Dave Walsh and Colin Finnegan. And if you folks haven't seen or met Colin, he is pretty amazing. And such a nice young man. But boy, can that kid play darts. So he and Dave swept the doubles of the men's right there. And then in the end, the luck of the draw, well, we had a little Cape Cod and we had a little not Cape Cod. And we had Chuck Gregory and Big Sexy himself, Mike McGuire, swinging in there. So some of those dart pucks stayed home. We're going to be stabbing darts in those. And some of those mugs stayed around. There were some nice pictures up there on Facebook from folks who won. I appreciate all the love. So we're working with Mac Darts so we can keep trophies coming. We also got a few things cooking with the DJD.com, David Garfunkel and the guys over there at DJD. So they're helping us out too. So I want to thank you all because you're all part of making all this happen. So the 50-50 winner, as I said, wasn't even in the building at the time, but it was Royal Family member Steve McGuire. Congratulations. Well done, Debbie, getting him down. Debbie also did our pizza run. Debbie McGuire was nice. She said, hey, Darren, anything I can do? And she came by at the right time or the wrong time, depending on, how you're looking at it. But she zipped up there and got all those pizzas that Porcelli's made for us. So that was awesome. I want to thank you. And then the darts donated by Mac Darts, the Majestic Darts, were run by Tim Meat Reynolds. Tim's been on a roll. He's won all kinds of shit. He won the mystery out from Minuteman and got a set of darts. Miss Anna delivered those. That was amazing. And then the last thing was the wallet, the Winmar wallet, and that was won by Lori Kinsella. Again, well done to Katie Sullivan. She kept those tickets and let me know afterwards. We didn't think we had a winner. She got in touch with me and said Lori was the winner. So Lori knows she has those coming. So congratulations. Those are the notes from the Handy Dandy notebook. So thank you, Matthew. You know who you are. So there it is. There's the crew. And that's how we're going to sneak out of that. And next, we are going to move right on to the Cape Cod Premier League. And the big thing today, and thank you, Patrick, we are announcing the summer details. He is running a summer league. You can see everything right there on the screen. Take a good peek at it. And as it says here, most of the rules and procedures, such as play, when, and where you want, division assignment, and match notification will remain the same. If you know, you know. If you don't, then check it out on Facebook. At the Cape Cod Premier League Facebook page, that will have all the details. The summer 2025 will use set play match format. Play different games, have different division placement criteria. These changes are only for the summer. So this is, when we start again in the fall, back to the 5-0, back to the way it is. But summer, get a little change, have a little fun, switch things up. So Double A is going to play the best of 7 sets. First to win 4 sets, that's going to be 8 to 21 legs. A will be the best of 5 sets. You're looking at 6 to 15. You got to win 3 sets. And the lower divisions will be the best of 3 sets. The first to win 2 sets, and you're looking at 4 to 9 legs. So the order of play will be the winner of the bull chooses game and starts leg 1. Winner of leg 1 chooses game for leg 2, and loser of leg 1 throws first. And if a third leg is required, shoot the bull and play the remaining game. So that does mean you're going in, Chicago. So each set's going to be best of 3. You got 3 games, 5-0, 3-0, Dedo, and cricket. And you can only play each game once. I did skip right over that. This is good. But so that means, if you start off a 5-0, then you go to cricket, you got the third leg, you have to play the 3-0. So I like that. That's pretty cool. You can see the division rankings, match record, winning matches matter, sets 1, legs 1. So the important dates and, the money end of it. Registration fee is $100 and opens up on May 1st. So May 1st and closes on May 18th. So there's your window. It'll be posted on Facebook. I'm sure we'll post it. We'll do it on the Cape Cod Dart League page on Facebook too, and all the other pertinent pages, D Productions, Geeks. It'll be all over. So make sure you get it out there. 8/22, the regular season ends. 8/24 is playoff week. Top 4 make the playoffs and get the money. Champions get a trophy. And the final somewhere between August 22nd and September 7th. And as we stated, see the Cape Cod Premier League Facebook page for more details. And, of course, you can see it right there in front of you. And thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you reaching out. He sent that to me yesterday. So that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So we also want to give a little shout out to Derek Watley, who in basics words bagged a unicorn. 6 corks, shot. So we need to give a little Geek Standing O to Mr. Watley. And congratulations. And we're going to see here, I think, if I've done this correctly. Bada boom. We don't. I didn't do it correctly. We are on here. So we're going to go here. And we're going to go here. And we're going to jump right into the Cape Cod. Boom. There it is. We're going to go here. And I'm going to stop. And boom. So we do have the finals coming up on May 18th. That's going to be the day after the Cape Cod Youth Dart Tournament. So the Moose will be set up. It'll be nice. We'll have all things rolling. All the matches are going to start at 2 p.m. May 18th at 2 p.m. 8 finals. Holy moly. There will be an luck of the draw after all the finals are over. Sign-ups are 4 to 5 with a 5:30 start for that luck of the draw. Entry fee is going to be $15. And you're going to get $1 to Deep Productions, $1 to Dart Connect, and $1 to Moose Charities. That means $12 will go into the prize pot. And there will be a 50-50 raffle where somebody's going to win the money. And I believe the 50-50 raffle goes right to Moose Charities. If I'm wrong, Patrick will correct me on that. So, we will see what we're doing there. So as you can see in the standings, what we have, we're just going to roll right through. I think we're going to roll right through. Boom, here we go. So as you can see in the standings, this is the double A. That is where we have started. And Dennis is in first place there, Dennis Alker. And I got to see if I can get, I think I can get in here. So you can see it is kind of tightly contested in here. These are the big boys, and you can see a couple people are behind. That's a nice thing about this singles league is you can go about it. Whoop, we had to go because it goes, there's the A. Scott Rasmussen, he is a defending champion. And you can see he's got a fairly good lead right there. He's in the lead by 16 in his division. You can find all of this out right here on Dart Connect TV, all of these standings. And you can see as they play, some of these guys are, some are in the same spot, some are not, some are at the same, and some are not. So everybody catches up. They do have a set time to finish. You can see right here in the C division, you see Jillian Richmond leading that right there. And you see Todd in second place. Todd is a defending champion, and Jillian is the sole lady in this division and winning. And in the D division, you'll see right there, although Vin is in leading in the D division, you can see Rachel Emery right behind him, and she is a whole match behind and only 6 behind. So this is tightly contested, and all of this is done by your average. So, and here we wrap up with the 2 ladies divisions. But if your average pushes you up there, that's with Jillian and Rachel. And so they were spread out and both just crushing it in those 2 divisions. So they do a mix here, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So all of that, again, go to DCTV. Search leagues, Cape Cod Premier League. It's right there with the Dart League, and you will get to see all of those standings. And again, all the finals, you can see all in the same spot. I think we're going to get all 8 of them. There's always a chance that 1 or 2 won't be able to make it on the day, but hopefully they will all get out there. Now, what I want to do right now, as you can see, I do want to give a huge standing ovation. Platinum, who employs a lot of dart players actually, and so I had a little going back and forth. I want to thank Triple T, Trash Talking Tommy. He was the go-between in there and got me in to speak with the owners of Platinum, and they're just great people, and they jumped in and gave us a very, very nice sponsorship. So we want to give them a huge shout out. And then our newest sponsor is Advanced Turf Pros, Josh Rapani. I used to push him around in a wheelbarrow with my oldest daughter, Cassie, and I'm going to find that picture, and I am going to post it because I think it's cute and I want to show his kids. But he has a very successful, he and his partners own Advanced Turf Pros. They are in Dennis. Platinum is in Yarmouth. And they jumped in, spoke to Josh, told him what I was doing, and he did not hesitate. And so we want to thank both of them jumping on. So we got a lot of stuff. This is going to go for stuff we're doing this fall. We're getting the schedule set up. So people seem to like it. We thank you so much. So we want to give a huge shout out to those new sponsors right there. You guys are amazing, and we can't do it without our sponsors. So, you know, between the leagues, the Premier League on Cape Cod and the Cape Cod Dart League and Minuteman Dart League and all the other dart leagues, you know, get out there, support them, have some fun. If they do something, you know, help out, and they do, and everybody helps everybody. So that's why there's so much stuff to do in darts. So it's cool. It's very, very cool. So what we're going to do now is real quick, I want to run down what is coming up for May and through the summer. So May 10th, yours truly, the Dart Geek, and Mr. Meat, there he is right there. He's got his Monday night LOD at Brewster Pizza. But we're going to zip up to the Liberal Club in Fall River to do the Minuteman banquet, and going up there to hang out with Anna Moretti for the day. There it is right there. You don't have to be Minuteman to play in this. If you are Minuteman, you're in free, but if not, you can pay and play in this. So it's going to be a great time. That Liberal Club is amazing. And on the 17th, we're going to have the Cape Cod Youth Dart Tournament. Everything is free, 18 and under. It'll be at the Moose. Doors open at noon. It's noon to 8 p.m. We encourage the parents to come and help too. We love to get the parents involved. But we'd love to see a bunch of kids there. It's become very popular. The Cape Cod Dart League does an amazing job, and the Dart Geek is in there assisting. And there it is right there. Peter the Donator Field, who is one of our local Cape Cod Dart League players, basically almost funded this thing by himself. So, but we're going to get some food from sponsors and so forth. So we'll get that rolling on the 17th. And then we do have the finals for the Cape Cod Premier League right there. There are the finals on the 18th. All the finals at 2 p.m. Come on down. I don't even know which one I'm streaming yet, but we're going to stream one or maybe a couple if we'll sneak them in there. You just don't know. May 28th will be Cape Cod Dart League Championship night. That will be the finals, and they will take their break for the summer and have things wrapped up. And I'm sure throughout the summer you'll get all the details on the upcoming league. Now, you saw there, that is the DC Porcelli's Pizza LOD on Thursday. They are doing the last one on the 22nd of May, and they will take a little summer break. So make sure you get down there. Jim and Ellie, you guys are amazing. That whole crew down there. To the Sullivans, Mark and Katie, and Richard Power, well done on running this. It will be back in the fall. Just taking a little summer break. That's all they're doing. Every Monday night, you can go down to Meat Lovin' in Brewster. And from June 11th to August 20th, the DGZ crew will be running a Luck of the Draw out of the Moose every Wednesday night. And we will be doing a 50-50, and every Wednesday night, we'll have a couple of extra prizes in there. There's the poster for it right there. Mac Darts, Longfellow's Pub, the other guys, Ruggies have all jumped in. So we'll do the 50-50 every week. There'll always be 2 extra prizes. And once a month through the summer, we will do the Dart Geek Zone Live. I know, hold your applause. This will be free, so but it will be, first come, first serve. So the parking lot's going to fill up when we do this live. But excuse me, we hope to have a bunch of people participating. And we do know that we will get Dax Moon and Dr. Manhattan will be in the house. He'll be on vacation at some point. We're not sure when. But we will have him in the building, and hopefully a few other guest stars that'll come. And we'll do one in June, one in July, and one in August. So look for that. We do have posters up at DC's, and you'll see the other flyers around, and there is the giant poster right there with all our people. There's our summer series. That should be a lot of fun. And don't forget, all summer long, Meat Lovin' does run that at Brewster Pizza. That is a great time. And the 22nd, make sure, my guess is that they're going to have a little something down there. I honestly do not know for sure, and I have not been told, but I do feel that that is probably what is going to happen. So that there probably is a surprise or two from Jim and Ellie. So we're going to go back here and do this, and we're going to interact, and we're going to roll up through this, and then we're going to go back here. And this is just, like I said, DC TV. This is so easy. Just go to search your leagues, and all you got to do is, and there you go. And then we got the Premier League right there, and we got the Dart League. So we are going to go to the Cape Cod Dart League, and we're going to go to division standings, and we are going to just flash it up here at the moment and let you take a look at that. And we're just going to roll through our AA division. And we're doing pretty good. I try to keep this to about an hour, so we've rolled through all those things, and we appreciate everybody watching, listening, and hanging out. So far, so good. So last we left you, we were at week 8. We are at week 9 review right now, and we start AA. Yeah, we started off with Assassins versus Still Trippin'. On this, the last place team would hold steady, and Still Trippin' lost a little bit of ground because there was a 6-6 tie. And the best singles of this particular match was best singles 501 leg was Kevin Boyan at 21 darts. So well done to the Assassins there, holding their own against the defending champions. And then we had the Dart Sharks versus the Warriors. The Warriors, the newest AA team. Another new top team taking on the newbies. The Sharks would win 9-3 on this night. Ed the Plumber and John Swan 5 got the night started with the win. And it was backed up in the third 501 doubles by Chris Matheson and Ryan Hathaway. But their next win came in the fifth singles with Ed the Kuna Plumber. Either way, it works. And that was it. The best singles on this night was Mike Leary with two 22 dart legs. Well done. They do play 501, single in, double out. So I think you're getting into that, you get into that 15 to 21. I like that. That's where we kind of want to be. It'd be nice to see them under 20, but you go where you go. So then we ended, that was it. We have 6 in AA, and this week ended with the FUPA with the Stallions. The Stallions are holding strong in 4th. But at any time, they can beat anyone. And on this night, FUPA was a wee bit too much. And FUPA's been on a little bit of a tear. They're trying to, make a point that they're not, their time has not passed. Although I did chat with Mike, and they are definitely missing, his brother Steven. They would like to see him, but this wouldn't be. So the the Stallions, we went over that. It was a 9-3, but the best singles of the night came from Jason Pillsbury, BOG member and a member of the Lanyard Stallions, with a 22 darter. And then week 10 would show the FUPA versus the Warriors. And again, as I said, FUPA's on a little bit of a tear. And this week they would have an 11-1 win. The lone win was Ed the Plumber and John Swan 5, and they've been holding pretty strong. That's a pretty steady team for the Warriors, and they've been holding their own when they are pinned together. They come out of the gates a lot with that first win. And the best singles of this night was by Basic himself, Patrick Paquette. He had an 18 darter and followed that up with a 21. So that was pretty good right there. So that was week 10. Then we had the Stallions and the Assassins. They swapped wins through the first 3 matches, and then the Stallions swept Cricket 2 legs straight. The Assassins did come back to split the singles 3 each. It's a Stallions win at 7-5. Best singles of the night was Kevin Boyan with a 24 darter. Boom, boom. There we go. The handy dandy notebook. Continuing with week 10, it was still tripping, and the Dart Sharks. This was the battle of the top two teams, and this was the 9th of April. Still tripping took 2 out of 3 in the double 501s, and the Sharks returned the favor in cricket. And then in the singles, the Shark only managed 2 wins, and they would fall 7-5 to the defending champions. Best singles of this night would be Big Al, Alan Parsons with a 22 darter. Then we got to Fupa versus the Assassins. Fupa, who is now putting their foot on the gas, would continue the trend. And they would just blank them 12-0. Quick and painless. The best leg of the night was by an Assassin, Kenny Pina. Well done, sir, with a 22 darter. And that was week 11, actually, with Fupa and the Assassins. This was the 16th. Still tripping, took on the Warriors. The learning curve in Double A is a long, slow drive. The Warriors do battle through, though. The defending champs would win 93. The Warriors, Ed Kuna and Triple T, and Chris Matheson and John Swan 5 did win 2 out of the 3 crickets. Chris Matheson chalked up another singles win. But the best leg of this night was Mr. C.J. O'Boyle. We talked about Platinum and how many champions they had working there. CJ is the beard to be feared and a multi-champion across several different leagues. And he would have the best leg with a 21 darter. Well done, Mr. CJ. And wrapping up week 11, the Dart Charts took on the Lanyard Stallions. And that's kind of a cool little matchup because they do combine for an MMDL team, Minuteman team, and they are Cape Dreams. So they are together on Tuesdays, battle on Wednesdays. So it's a little flip-floppy. So the Sharks sit atop the division, and the Stallions are in 4th. So, but this night, the final score was 8-4 to the Sharks. The Sharks took the first 5 games before Jason Pillsbury and Sean Baker Jr. managed a cricket win over the big man Christian Burrows and Thomas McGilvery. They finished 3-3 in singles. The best leg was an 18 darter by Sean Baker Jr. in the last match of the night. And I know I keep saying I'm going to check this out. That would wrap up week 11. But I think Sean also has the best leg at 14 darters this season. I'm not sure there's been anything under a 14. I'll have to put Dennis on that. He's kind of the Dart Geek stat guy, Dennis Alka Jr., the big cat. But I think Shawnee Baker with the junior there with the 14 darter, I think that's leading. So week 12, we had the Warriors versus the Assassins. And this was 5th and 6th place A-Division teams. The Assassins took 2 of the first 0-1s. The Warriors took control, winning all 3 crickets. Trading matches in the first 3 singles. The Warriors took 2 in a row. For the Assassins, it was Dan the Man Robillard, owner of Longfellows, one of our dear sponsors. Thank you so much. Got some gift certs coming this summer, so look out. He took on taking the last match, and that was an 8-4 Warriors win. The best leg again, Kevin Boyan, 22 darters. Then we had Fupa versus the Dart Sharks. The Dart Sharks holding a slim 2-point lead in first, are trying to hold off Fupa, who've been on a bit of a tear. Tonight, Fupa would prevail 7-5 over the Sharks. The best leg of this night was an 18 darter by Big Sexy himself, Michael McGuire. We did have 2-ton 80s, Basic Patrick Paquette, and Sean Murphy. And then in the end, we had Still Trippin' taking on the Lanyard Stallions. And defending champs sit 3 out of first. So in this night, the end result was Still Trippin' 7-5. Best leg was a 3-way tie, all 24 darters. Nick Van Sissen, Eric Aroni, and Maddie Baker, all with 24 darters. So the top 4 are pretty set. So there may be a little battle in there, first or second, who gets the home, who's got to go traveling, but it looks like we're pretty good. And this time next month, we'll know who the champion is. We will. All right, so now we're going to go back here. Let's see if we can figure this out. We're going to go here. We're going to hit the interact, and we're going to go right down to the A East right there. Boom. All right, here we go. Back to week 9, which was April 2nd. And it was Plan B versus FMA. This was the top 2 teams at the time. And nothing would change. It would be a 6-6 tie. And this would come on. A plays 401 single in double out. And the best singles of the night was 18 darts. And there were 2 of them. Eric Jocelyn and old Tommy Ryan. Well done, gentlemen. So there's 5 teams, so we always have a bye. So there's only 2 matches each time. And the second one was Clubbers versus Fireballs. And the Riptides had the week off. And the 28 Clubbers, a team filled with veterans, they've been coming on strong. And they continue with an 8-4 victory. Going into singles, tied at 3. Only Julie Thompson would win her singles. The Clubbers took 5 of 6. The best singles of the night was from the Clubbers. Jim Reynolds with an 18 darter. And big shout out to Julie. Julie plays in that singles league too, and she is leading her division. And she plays for the Fireballs. We play against her, and that girl is on fire and shooting so well. Julie, just keep it going. And she's a lot of fun. Encourages people. Win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. Her team, the other team, she's, hugs and high fives and just shooting real well. So it's great to see, people having a great time with this game. So then we move on to week 10. Riptides coming off their bye and trying to squeak into second place because only the top 2 will make it. We have 2 A divisions. You have a bye in each division, so only the top 2 make it to see who goes to championship night. And on this night, the Riptides were able to fight through for a 7-5 win. And again, Julie Thompson and Scott Rasmussen took the 3rd cricket. And I don't even know what I wrote there for a note. But there was a comeback in the singles, taking 4 out of 6. And the best leg of the night was Scott Rasmussen with a 17 darter. And the 17 darter came with a 90 checkout. Well done, Scott. Then we had Clubbers versus Plan B. And the second place Plan B was the next victim on the Clubbers hit list. This night they would go down 8-4. Eric Jocelyn busting out from Plan B with a 22 dart leg. And FMA had the bye. FMA, who was leading the league, and I think is pretty secure in first place. We would move on to week 11, and we would have FMA versus the Fireballs. This is the A East first versus the last. And the Fireballs' first win of the night did not come until the 3rd cricket on this night. Fireballs would split the single matches, but it was an FMA win 8-4. And again, common name, Scott Rasmussen. And very good shot. You saw him leading the division in the singles league as well. A 20 darter and a last leg decider in the final game of the night. So, when it counts, the boy can hit. But well done, Scott. Then we had Riptides versus the Clubbers. This is a very fun battle, and both teams scratching to try to catch Plan B, who has kind of a hold right there. They're a very solid team from 1 all the way. I don't know if they're 8 or 9 on that team, but every one of them is lights out. So the Riptides and Clubbers, this match would see Riptides get a few points by beating the Clubbers 7-5. The Clubbers had a 4-2 lead going into singles, but Riptides came back winning 5-6. That is my team. And the best leg was 19 darts by Frank the Tank Morgan. And the bye that week belonged to Plan B, so they got to sit back and watch. And then in week 12, which was just last week, Plan B took on the Fireballs. And then they took By the time they got to singles, they did take 4 out of 6 in the singles for a 7-5 win. And the best leg here, again, Scott Rasmussen was in there, but Plan B, Dennis Hoy snuck in there too with 22 darters. So well done to them. However, Plan B did get their 7-5 win and get a few extra points. Then we had FMA, the number 1 team, taking on Riptides, who needed to get there, and I didn't make it. So I was not able. Work gets in the way. And so it got in the way this night. So Riptides was there without the Dart Geek. Riptide needed points to stay in second. Came out winning 2 of the 501 doubles, but gave away the lead in cricket. Salvaging the win 3-3 into singles. FMA took control, winning the first 4 and ending the night 7-5. And the best leg of this night was done by an Eldridge, but not this one. It was done by Wolf. Well done, Eric Eldridge, at 18 darters. So it looks like this race really isn't going to be decided till the last week of the season, which is very cool. That's what we want. That's why the Board of Governors sets up the, divisions like they set them up, that you hopefully will come down right to the last night, and it does. It looks like FMA is going to be pretty secure. However, they are that second right there. These 2, 3, and 4, man, that's just going to be a race all the way down to the end. So now we're going to race off into the West, and they also have the bye. Only the top 2 teams are going to make it there as well. I want to get on full screen here because I want to make sure I don't mess this one up. And yeah, they're kind of in the same situation, really, where Nun 80 has a fairly comfortable lead, and 2, 3, and 4 are really all in contention to get in there. So we're going to go back to week 9 with A West. We had Nun 80 taking on Shenanigans, the first place, taking on the third place team. And Nun 80 came in hot, taking the first 4 games of the night and 5 of the first 6. In singles, Shenanigans came back, winning 4-6, and in the end, a 7-5 for Nun 80. Win right there. Best leg was Todd the Mouth Moose with a 20 darter in the singles win. Abe placed 401, single in, double out, just to give everybody a little, point for their analytics. And then we had Headlocks, Armed, and Hammered taking on the Ace Holes. This was a battle of the bottom. These were the 2 teams battling it out. Headlocks was determined to stay in front. They took the first 3 games and 5 of 6. In singles, they kept it rolling. At the end, the scoreline was 93 to Headlocks. The best leg was Adam Davis with a 26 darter. And the bye was IAC. So IAC will start there with week 10. They took on Ace Holes coming off their bye. They lost the first match of the night, but then they took the next 7. And not till Dave Kasherik pulled out a 17 darter in the last leg decider in his singles over the big guy, Jeff Gruenstein, did they win one. In the end, it was 9-3, and the best leg was Dave EK's 17 darter. Then we had Headlocks, Armed, and Hammered taking on the Shenanigans. These 2 are battling for playoff seeding, and this end result would be a 6-6 tie. So that's how that would end up. They would not change. And the best leg was the best dressed man in darts, Mr. Tony Offler, with a 16 darter. Well done, Tony. So now we moved on to week 11. And in week 11, Nun 80 took on Headlocks, Armed, and Hammered. Back from their bye, Nun 80 saw John Terrio and Katie Sullivan tie up the match at 3-3. Going into singles, trading blows in the first 3 singles, Nun 80 would sweep the last 3, take the win 7-5. And John Terrio had the best leg with a 17 darter. Well done, John. John, big supporter of the Dart Geek. We're a big fan of John's as well. So kudos to you with your 17 darter. Then IAC would take on Shenanigans. IAC, who was looking up in the standings at Nun 80, was in need to keep pace, taking 4 of the first 6. They finished strong, winning 3 singles matches and won 8-4. Best leg on this night was Mr. Bob Percy with a 17 darter. Well done, Bob. And if you don't know Bob, one of the nicest guys. A very quiet, very calm, excellent shot. Just, kind of reminds me of a Matt Campbell kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? So ace holes would have the bye. And I know how they probably felt needing the bye. And on week 12, Nun 80, first place would take on the ace holes. The leader, Nun 80, in control. This would be a long night for the ace holes, managing only 1-5-0-1 doubles win. The ace holes entered singles 5-1. Sean Edwards and Dave Kasharek got ace holes started, but those would be the only 2 singles win on this night. And Nun 80 would complete the win 9-3. Best leg of this night would be a 19 darter by Sean Ducott. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Sean. If I'm not, humble apologies. Then we would move on to headlock, armed and hammered versus IAC. IAC having a hold on second overall, were looking to pad their point lead, and headlocks had other ideas, taking 4 of the first 6. Headlocks was rolling. The hot Scott Jillian Richmond stopped the bleeding. IAC only managed to split, and the night ended 7-5. Headlocks win. Best leg was a 21 darters back-to-back for Richard Power. Richard Power from DC's Porcelli, Thursday night LOD fame. So he helps the Sullivans there. They all work together to run that. But 21 darters back-to-back. So Nun 80 has the end of season bye. IAC versus Ace Holes and the Shenanigans versus Headlocks. This division will also come down to that last. Because if I have it correct, I got to get back to my handy dandy notes. But I'm pretty sure that IFMA, they have the last bye. So basically, in A division, both division leaders had the last bye. And I think it's going to be all the way down to that last little bit to see who is going to make it into the playoffs. All right, so here we go, folks. We are wrapping up. We're getting down to B. This is it. This is the last division in the Cape Cod Dart League. We wrap up with B. And in B on week 9, you can see they got 6, so we have no buys. Top 4 will make it into the playoffs. It's pretty solidified as who's going to get there. You're still going to have a little bit, who's going to travel, who's going to get that home playoff. So on week 9, we have Bulls on Parade versus It Is What It Is. This was the B Division Battle of the Bottom. And this night would belong to Bulls on Parade. They won 11-1. The lone win for It Is was Lori Mason in the first singles. Congratulations, Lori. Holding it down, making sure, no shutout for you. So, the first singles had the best leg. Rob Dooley, a 20 darter. Our B division plays 301, single in, double out. Everything's single in, double out. And this night was Rob Dooley with a 20 darter. Next match pitted Dart Zombies versus Dave Wood's team. A 1 versus 4 matchup. D Wood took the first 2, but will be swept in the 3 cricket games. The singles matches would end 3-3. But at the end of the night, the Zombies would still complete the win 7-5. Best leg, Keith Andrews with a 14 darter, and he backed it up with a 15 darter to win his singles 2 straight. So Keith, for me, a little bit new to the league. I've seen him at the Luck of the Draws and stuff, but real nice shot again, nice guy, and coming on strong there. So well done, Keith. Very, very nice done there in your singles. And then we ended the night with Elefino versus Dillagaff, a number 2 versus number 3, and both wanting a home playoff match. So that's one of those little battles we got going. And Elefino took another step with an 8-4 win. Trading games all the way down to singles. Dan Smith came away with a singles win. Best leg was Corey Jordan and Dan Smith, both at 20 darts. That would end week 9. Week 10, we would have the Dart Zombies visiting Elefino, a 1 versus 2 matchup. And Zombies really wanted to make a statement to let them know what was going on, and they did with a 10-2 victory, taking only a cricket and one singles. Really left Elevino in a little bit of a vulnerable spot for Dilligaff to catch up. The best leg was Joe Eldridge, 17 data. That's Eldridge with an E, and trying to get them to figure out how to dot the E. They don't get it. They don't get it. So, Eldridge with an E. So we're going to continue on. Week 10. Week 10 saw Bulls on Parade taking on Dave Wood's team. D. Wood took 2 of the first 501 doubles, and Bulls took 2 of the crickets, so it was all tied up going into singles. And they were all still tied up. It was 6-6, and that's how that match ended. Best leg was a final game of 301. Keith Andrews, 11 darter. There's that name again, Keith Andrews. Something tells me over the summer he might be, some people might try to pilfer him on one of those higher division teams. And then it wrapped up with Dilligaff versus It Is What It Is, coming off a loss the previous week, and with Elefino losing 11-2, Dilligaff needed a good night, and they got it. They got 11 points with an 11-1 victory. The lone It Is What It Is win, Dusty James. So Dusty saved it, and again, no shutout for you. So best leg of the night was the call to the bullpen for the Dart Geek squad. Filling in for Miss Melissa Hall was Sue the Pink Widow Belial with an 18 darter on this night. So well done, Miss Sue. Week 11 on the 16th saw Dilligaff taking on Dave Wood's team. This was a 3-4 battle. This night would end in a tie, and neither would gain any ground. And the best leg was Dan Smith with 2 17-dart legs to take out Keith Andrews on this night. So well done to Dan Smith. Well done, sir. Then we have the Dart Zombies taking on Bulls on Parade. Bulls on Parade sitting in 5th, but trailing by a bunch. Needed to play tough. Coming out on the losing end 7-5, but it was not a blowout. And the best leg on this night was from the Dart Zombies, William Rogers with the 16-darter. And well done to Mr. Rogers. And then in the third match on this one was Elefino taking on It Is What It Is, a second-place team and the last-place team. And they crushed it 10-2. Elefino crushed it 10-2. And It Is What It Is highlight was Eric Corey, who won his cricket with Mary Stacy and his singles for the 2 wins. And best leg was Eric Corey. And I didn't write down how many darts. But Eric, you had the best one on that night. I always got to throw in a couple of mistakes, just to keep the humanity going. And then we reach week 12, and it was after week 12, which puts us in the standings that you see right here. Dilligaff would take on Bulls on Parade. Dilligaff, currently in 3rd, chasing the number C to 2 spot so they can host a playoff match, took another step, winning 7-5. And on this night, the RJ Rose had the best leg, 19 darts. Well done, RJ, 19 darts on this night. Then we had Dave Wood's team taking on Elefino. Elefino holding down the 2nd place spot, but needing points to hold off. Dilligaff couldn't hold off D. Wood's team, and they went down 7-5. Elefino took 4 of the 6 in doubles and then a split of singles, with Keith Andrews winning the last singles for a team win. Best leg was a 17 daughters in the last leg of the night. Again, well done, Keith Andrews. I expect you to be a hot prospect on the free agent market over the summer. And then in the last match was Dart Zombies taking on It Is What It Is. A division leader, Dart Zombies, showed no mercy, getting 11 points, taking 11-1 over the last place team. Katie Grenier, well done, Katie. Katie was the lone win, taking the first singles match of the evening, and the best leg of this night was Madison Maroney with a 19-darter. Well done, Madison. Well done. So the top 4 in B is pretty much set. Like, there's not, other than, like I said, a movement, who gets a home game, who doesn't get a home game. So that's looking good, and that's really where we're at the moment. So we're going to close, boom, and we're going to go boom, just to give you this so you see what's coming. And we are just about at an hour. We have been going 57 minutes. I'd like to keep it going for about an hour. I figure this is all anybody can put up with the exception of, Jen. But that kind of wraps everything up. So next time we get together, we'll have champions. We'll have champions in the Cape Cod Premier League. We'll be announcing champions in the Cape Cod Dart League, and promoting the summer stuff going again. It'll be the end of May, and we'll be pushing for Memorial Day and summertime. So I hope you can join us May 10th up at the Liberal Club, and the Geek and me will be making that road trip. And remember, that is open to everybody. So just because you're on the Cape, make the trip. It's only Fall River. It's super close, and it'll be a good time. And there's a buffet and a great restaurant. And if you haven't seen that Liberal Club, you want to get up there. That place is amazing. Don't forget, May 22nd, that's going to be the last one, the last LOD at DC Porcelli's Pizza. Just for the summer. They're just shutting it down for the summer. It's going to pick right up again when the Dart League starts, when Cape Cod Dart League starts. Again, there is the summer splash that's going to happen all around here. We'll have Wednesday nights at the Yarmouth Moose, Monday nights at Brewster Pizza. There it is, all summer long. And hopefully we'll get a few pop-ups here and there. So we appreciate you hanging on, sticking out. If there's something you want to see, if there's something we should be promoting, you can always email Darren Eldridge 100 at gmail.com. That's DarrenEldridge 100 at gmail.com. Then you want to promote through the summer, I'd love to have a couple guests on live when we do it at the Moose. As I said, Dr. Manhattan will be in the building. We just don't know when yet. Hopefully we'll get Skiz Rock down. May 10th, we're going to be joined by the one and only Greg Tong. He will be in the booth with us right there. I cannot wait for that. It's always an honor to have Greg Tong. And also, I want to thank Greg and Ron Boucher for allowing the Geek again to join the Tavern Players group. So free subscription if you go to tavernplayers.com, fill that out. They are again allowing the Dart Geek. Greg Tong is always in there, and his articles are amazing. So thank you for all your help and supporting the Dart Geek. So look for that, and please get your subscription to Tavern Players. It covers everything from pub sports to cigars to all the pubs and different events all around New England, and it is sent all over the country. So it's a great publication. And if you want to get some advertising in there, it's great, especially if you have some events going on. And fantastic. And the Boucher family is amazing. So we got all kinds of exciting things happening through the end of the season and the summer. So stick around and come on down to the Cape. Enjoy the summer. Good luck to all the teams as we march through May towards the championships, and get ready for some championship live streams. And remember, please be the reason somebody smiles tomorrow, all right? It's going to make you feel good. It's really going to make them feel good. And for a little teeny tiny bit of time, this world is a much better place. We thank you for joining us. I'm going to head off and go be Grandpa. And I got a little date with one of the grandkids. And so, Dart Geek out. Enjoy Sunday, all. Thank you so much.